The Golden Human Codex II, Living Coherence. Welcome, Golden Human, to Episode 8, Living as the Golden Signal. This episode explores how identity, not as a story, role, or aspiration, but as a stabilized physiological and perceptual condition. When coherence is sustained long enough, it becomes the default operating state of the nervous system. Behavior, decision making, creativity, and relationship no longer require conscious regulation. They arise automatically from a consistent internal signal. Living as a golden signal means identity is no longer something you think about or curate. It is the natural output of a system that has learned safety, clarity, and self consistency at a biological level. Coherence is no longer something you return to. It is no longer something you protect, monitor, or practice. In this closing episode, we examine what happens when regulation stabilizes so completely that it becomes identity itself. There is no effort involved, no vigilance required, and no need to prove alignment. The nervous system emits a steady, readable signal that environments, relationships, and opportunities respond to naturally. This is the golden human functioning as a coherent field, moving through life with serene precision, numinous ease, and sustainable beatitude, not elevated above life, but deeply functional within it. Life no longer feels like something to manage. It feels like something that cooperates. Every feeling is a message from inside. Storm or sunshine is all the same road. Energy moving through a hue and cold. Core teachings. Identity is a physiological pattern before it is a physiological concept. What you are is determined by the state your nervous system returns to most often. Repetition, not insight, stabilizes coherence. Insight initiates change, but repetition teaches the body what is safe and familiar. A regulated nervous system emits a consistent signal. Others respond not to words or intentions, but to biological reliability. Seeking behavior is a sign of instability, not curiosity. When coherence stabilizes, seeking dissolves, and clarity emerges naturally. Life organizes around signal, not effort. Opportunities, relationships, and outcomes align more smoothly when the internal system is consistent. Calm is not passive, it is highly informative. Calm communicates safety, competence, and trust with remarkable efficiency. Coherence reduces decision fatigue. When identity is regulated, choices feel obvious rather than effortful. Sustainable bliss arises from internal consistency. Felicity, elation, and delight are byproducts of a system no longer oscillating between extremes. Golden Human Frame. The golden human is a stabilized reference point within dynamic systems. Rather than attempting to influence, persuade, or control outcomes, the golden human maintains internal coherence. This coherence becomes a silent, organizing principle for interreactions, environments, and collective spaces. Conversations settle, boundaries clarify, creativity flows with less resistance. This is not charisma or authority in the traditional sense. It is the exalted credibility of a system that is internally aligned. The golden human does not try to lead. Others naturally orient toward the signal of clarity and regulation being emitted. Ritual, signal integration. Choose a quiet, uncluttered space. Light sage and allow the smoke to move gently through the area. As the sage burns, bring attention to the natural rhythm of your breath. Notice the body's baseline state without attempting to alter it. Place one hand on your chest and one on the lower abdomen. Remain still for 3 minutes, allowing the nervous system to register this state as familiar and safe. This ritual is regulatory, not symbolic. Repeated exposure teaches the system that coherence is its default condition. Today's affirmation: I am not practicing coherence. I am the signal through which life organizes with ease. As you repeat the affirmation, allow the jaw, shoulders, and lower belly to soften. Notice how the body responds when there is nothing to improve or fix. This series was never about awakening, transformation, or becoming someone new. It was about learning how to function beautifully as you already are. When coherence stabilizes, life becomes quieter, clearer, and more delicious. Less effort is required. Less explanation is needed. The world responds differently, not because you are trying harder, but because your internal signal is consistent. This is the quiet bliss of a system that no longer argues with itself. If this series offered recognition, grounded felicity, or insight into living with greater ease, you are invited to like, comment, save, and share, so others ready for lived coherence may discover this paradise level way of moving through life. Next, we move into the Golden Human Codex II, where coherence meets creation, exploring how regulated systems shape work, art, leadership, and contribution with sublime discernment and sustainable opulence. Until then, walk attentively, walk coherently, walk as the golden human whose calm, stable signal allows life to meet you with serene clarity, numinous ease, and enduring elation.